Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. So you guys have been tagging me in this video like crazy. A video by AM Hoops titled "The Pistons Are Crazy to Not Trade Cade Cunningham." So first and foremost, guys, I want to go off and say, man, like AM Hoops, I really respect him as a content creator. Like, I do catch his videos every once in a while here, and very high basketball knowledge and all that good stuff. That always makes these videos really fun to react to, just because, like, you know, the person that is talking about it knows essentially what they are talking about. So yeah, I'm going to watch this here. I'm sure I will comment throughout the video, but you know, we'll see if he changes my mind. Maybe he'll change my mind, because for me, I would say that the Pistons need to trade Cade Cunningham, but then again, I am also open to the fact that you know, Jalen Green is an absolute beast and guys like that, right, man? But also at the same time, I have a few reasonings, you know, beyond basketball that I really want Cade in Detroit. So let's check this out and see if my opinion is shifted.
The Detroit Pistons have a chance to set themselves up for decades. They could have a championship contending team in the near future.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Pick. They better not mess this up. A report says the Rockets are aggressively trying to trade up from number 2 to number 1.
Yep.
The Pistons should absolutely do it. I know a lot of people can't imagine trading the chance to get Cade Cunningham, but this video explains why it's the obvious choice to skip number 1 and make Cade a Rocket. Yep.
I guess, like, the first thing I want to say is he is correct. The Pistons cannot screw this up. This could not be a messed up thing right here. My thing with that is that, you know, I would say that 99% of people say that Cade should be the first pick in the draft. So if you take Cade and he does become a bust, I don't think that's going to happen, but if he does become a bust, then, you know, at least from the minds of the Detroit Pistons and the fan base, we can say, well, you know, we all thought we should take a number 1, right? I don't think there was probably a lot of people that said Darko should have went number 2 back in 2003. So by trading the pick, I would say then, you know, if Cade becomes this beast and Jalen Green becomes a bust or whatever, then people are going to say, oh, remember when the Pistons traded away Cade Cunningham for Jalen Green? So that does make me nervous, because I get roasted every single day for some of the previous, pretty much majority of the draft choices that the Pistons have made.
Oh, it's Casey. This is AM Hoops. If you know someone who disagrees with this video, send it to them so that they can make a reaction video to this.
Yep.
Because I guarantee by the end of it, I will change their mind.
Okay.
And yes, I know
I'm open for it.
The undisputed number 1 overall pick. 0 credible mock drafts have him anywhere below the first spot. He is a perfect player for today's NBA. Dude's a big guard who can handle the ball, shoot, play make, play off the ball.
Say it could be Grant Hill or Luka.
Great with the Pistons roster. Killian Hayes in the backcourt. He gives flexibility to other spots. The Pistons have talented young wings like Sadiq Bey and Jeremy Grant, who's a little older. What they need is a superstar level player. Hello, Cade Cunningham. Or hello, Jalen Green, or maybe even Evan Mobley. The truth is, we don't know who's actually going to be the best player in this draft, because we almost never do, even when it's a slam dunk. I mean, in the case
gonna be like
of
Davion Mitchell.
LeBron James, we knew he would be the best player in 2003, but Cade's not even getting as much buzz as like Zion Williamson a few years ago. And it turns out Ja Morant has superstar potential as well. We don't know what the difference will be between Cade and the next guy, in a deep draft. So if the Rockets are willing to make a stupid trade, the Pistons should take it. There's no guarantee. Cade equals set for the next 10 years. But there is a better chance of that if Detroit gets the number 2 pick in a gigantic package.
Okay.
You'd have more chances to build your team. It's logic. It's a math game. The number 2 pick plus a bunch of other assets mean more chances to build your team. And what does it mean for the Rockets to be aggressive anyway? Like the number 2 pick and more unprotected picks and really good players? I mean, how badly do they want this? I've heard some people say...
Yeah, people were saying, dang, the second pick in Eric Gordon. That does not get it done. That does not get it done.
Pistons shouldn't even take that phone call. Are you insane? What if the Rockets are willing to give up their franchise to move up 1 spot?
Okay.
I mean, if I was Troy Weaver, I would pick up the phone and demand no less than Christian Wood, Jae'Sean Tate, the number 2 pick.
Okay, Christian Wood, Jae'Sean Tate, number 2 pick, number 23. The picks are great. I mean, that is a really good trade. Don't get me wrong. And I think this is probably a good place to put in my argument. But like I said, we still got like 6 minutes left. So I'm just, you know, like I said, I'm saying my argument right now. It could change by the end of the video. The reason that I want Cade in Detroit so bad, beyond basketball, is that he wants to be here. The Detroit Pistons are a franchise that are, typically built with people that want to be here. They embrace that Detroit, mentality or whatever, bad boys and all that stuff out there. The issue I have with this trade is Christian Wood. Christian Wood was on 10-day contracts, came to Detroit. The Pistons essentially traded away Andre Drummond because they thought Christian Wood could have been the future, all-star center for this team. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to free agency. Christian Wood said there's more to the story than what's been revealed. But I do know going into free agency, Christian Wood was putting out, tweets or whatever saying that, he wants to win. And obviously that was not going to happen in Detroit right away. So eventually he ended up going to the James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Houston Rockets. Now he finds himself to a rebuild situation. But I would say if I had to guess, Christian Wood as a Detroit Piston was probably not number one on his list. That's probably not the team that he absolutely wanted to go to. As opposed to Cade Cunningham, I mean, you look at the draft lottery reaction of him, man. His family and his friends and him, they were all excited. He was just found at a Detroit Tigers game just hanging out, and he's, saying that he's only going to work out for the Detroit Pistons. He could just be saying all the right things. That's, there's a chance of that. But to me, it sounds like he's embraced Detroit and he wants to be here. And that's what the Pistons need. They need guys that want to be here. Now, look at the draft picks. The draft picks, yes, those will be huge, especially in deep draft 23, 24, getting all the pick swaps and stuff like that. Especially, 2026, that's 5 years down the road when a lot of their guys like Cade and James Harden are going to be old, right? So it's those guys are either going to be on new teams or retired or whatever, right? My thing about draft picks is that for a team that typically is not a big time free agent destination, or really I should say player destination is probably the best way to put it. Those draft picks, they are valuable up to a point. Once you have your foundation, and I could say, going back to what AM said right here, the Pistons have their draft foundation with Sadiq, Killian, Isaiah Stewart, and guys like that on the team. They need that superstar. And to me, Cade can be that superstar, right? I don't think we're going to get a superstar via free agency, or really when it comes down to these picks also, because picks are obviously used for two things: to draft players or to, trade for a superstar down the road if you can package enough of them together. But even with that, if I would say like 10 first round picks is more valuable to the Miami Heat than it would be for the Detroit Pistons, because the Heat is a destination that I would say a lot of free agents are probably not going to say no to. If the Pistons were to get all these draft picks and trade for a guy down the road, but that guy didn't truly want to be in Detroit, then chemistry-wise and all that, it's just not going to lead to anything good. A prime example is we gave up quite a bit not too long ago for Blake Griffin, and we all know how that turned out. The first season he was fantastic, but when it was all said and done, it was a very sloppy ending. So, I look at this and I see the draft picks. I'm like, those are great. Jalen Green, I don't know his mindset about Detroit, but I do know that Cade wants to be here. I know Christian Wood does not want to be here. As talented as he is, and as much as I would welcome back with open arms, because I loved Christian Wood when he was playing for Detroit. It was just fun to watch him develop and just a really inspirational story. But, I think I'd rather take the risk on Cade. I like our foundation already. I don't think, draft pick wise, I feel like we have that core. I want to get some veterans down the road, for the bench unit and stuff. And man, I want Cade. I'm listening to the rest of the video, though.
Pick plus 23 and 24 this year.
It's a great trade package. I got to say that.
Picks. That's crazy, right? Houston would get Cade Cunningham and Corey Joseph for salary.
Hopefully, I hope I articulated my argument good enough. I did not write anything down, so I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head.
Are you not picking up that phone call? Think about Detroit's future with that deal. Yes, I know they didn't want to pay Christian Wood, but maybe they have a change of heart after seeing him last season. But they would get a potential...
See, I still find it hard to believe that the Pistons didn't want to pay Christian Wood, because that contract was not bad. It was $41 million for a guy that, in my opinion, is an all-star player. I still think there was more. I still think there was more to that. I don't know that for sure. I'm just kind of stating an opinion, but it just finds it so hard to believe that the Pistons would not pay him that $41 million to be that center. But
superstar in Jalen Green with the number 2 pick. Then Jayshawn Tate, who is on the all-rookie first team.
Yeah, he's a good
plus
player.
A haul of very valuable picks. They could have a star young roster with more top 10 picks coming every season. And how do we know they're not thinking about this? I mean, I saw another report that said there is a high likelihood to stay at number 1, but that could just be Troy Weaver playing the game and saying, look, I'm setting the market. It's going to take a crazy offer to make me budge. And that crazy offer has a better chance of setting up their future. I know Cade's amazing. He'll be the number 1 pick, but trading up in the draft is stupid more times than not. It's the emotional teams that trade up usually. I mean, when you get emotional, you make mistakes. The Rockets are like me when I'm hungry. When I really get hungry, I'm a jerk. I think there's a commercial about that.
Mike, what is your deal, man?
Oh, come on, man.
Gotta get that Snickers.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Yes, then hopefully I learn from that and say, wait a second, I'm mad. Am I actually just hungry? If I am, I try to let it go. Well, the Rockets are really emotional right now from the James Harden thing, and they need to let this go. Just let the emotion go. They could ruin their future if they're overly emotional. But hey, if they want to make a dumb decision, the Pistons should take advantage of that. The smartest front offices in all of sports take emotion out of their job. In football, there was a guy named Bill Walsh who was a genius, and he didn't want to get to know his players very well personally because then he wouldn't want to cut him when it was the right thing to do.
Sorry, guys, I don't know much about like
it's a cold
old
way
school
of doing
football.
Business, but emotions get in the way,
got much
and
to
the
say.
Pistons have to look at this logically. What is the history of trading down? In
Let's see this. It'd be
1993,
interesting.
the Magic had number 1, but the Warriors needed that pick. So they traded number 3, which turned out to be Penny Hardaway.
Damn,
and
not
3
bad.
protected first. So Orlando built their team with that haul, making the finals 2 years later, and Chris Webber was off the Dubs after 1 season. In 1998, the Mavericks were up at number 6. The Bucks wanted that pick, so they traded up.
Yeah, I guess the opposing argument, like, is there cases where a team's traded down though and the player didn't stick around, you know? Because I don't know what I don't know what Jalen Green feels about the Pistons. So I've seen all the flags of Cade saying that he wants to be here. But I definitely get what he's saying. I do not disagree with what AM Hoops is saying at all. I do not disagree with what he's saying at all. Like, we don't really know. And I'm sure myself and a lot of other Piston fans are putting emotion into it because we just, like, you know, not a lot of good things happen to our franchise. So having that number 1 pick is just like, it's just really exciting. It's just good for the city.
A guy named Robert Tractor Trailer, so the Mavs could get a guy named Pat Garrity and some other guy named Dirk Nowitzki. More recently, you can look at the Sixers trading up to number 1 to take Markelle Fultz, so that Boston could get Jason Tatum and Romeo Langford. Of course, sometimes it does work out. I know, like when the Mavs.
In all fairness, Markelle Fultz, I still think his big time issue is his injuries. I mean, he fixed like the shooting motion and stuff, but a little bit, I should say. But he was looking pretty good last year.
Traded from
that was just very unfortunate.
Luka Doncic, but Hawks fans tell me actually getting Trae Young and Cam Reddish is all the same. The point is, we don't know for sure how good a guy is going to be once he gets into the league. And if the Pistons have an offer that is embarrassingly big, they need to take it.
That's the key word.
Houston did that. Tillman
Embarrassingly big
sets a record for becoming the worst owner in sports in the shortest amount of time. He bought the team and was immediately worried about paying the luxury tax. When they were making conference finals, that's when you pay the luxury tax. I mean, if you don't want to pay it, don't buy an NBA team. Then he trades Chris Paul plus picks to get Russell Westbrook. And yes, he forced that trade, saying CP3 was the worst contract he'd ever seen in his life. Then Daryl Morey, James Harden, and others leave partly because of Fertitta. This man will check every box of a toxic owner. Cheap? Yes. Messes with front office decisions? Yes. Emotional trade? Yes, if they do this deal. You'll hear a lot of people saying the Pistons are idiots if they consider this trade, but it would be one of the smartest draft night trades ever. They would be taking advantage of a puppet GM in Raphael Stone, who's being pushed by an overly emotional owner to grossly overpay to move up.
Yeah, like, and I think that's a good point with this, is that, you know, I do not think the Pistons would be stupid because I really trust Troy Weaver and his choices. In his first season, you know, as GM of the Pistons, he's done nothing but great things, in my opinion. The Blake Griffin buyout does not count. Nobody was taking on that contract. So I do like Jalen Green. I really like Jalen Green. And I feel like team fit wise, killing at point guard Jalen Green makes more sense than Cade and Killing in the backcourt together. But man, like, I think I am being emotional. I do want Cade though, man. I do want Cade. AM though, I gotta give him props, man. He's very convincing. He is definitely very convincing. He brings up a great argument.
One spot. That would put so much pressure on Cade Cunningham to save this franchise. Can you imagine the first time Cade has a bad month his rookie year? All the media will say, well, the Rockets screwed their next 15 years because Cade's not that good. What if Jalen Green plays great that month? I can't believe the Rockets traded their future when they could have had a better player at number 2. You know that overreaction happens every year with rookies.
Yeah, it's all just noise.
Anthony Edwards was a bust, then maybe he was
It don't matter in the long run.
Oh, LaMelo Ball was a joke to a lot of people. He actually won Rookie of the Year. If the Rockets want to overpay, the Pistons would be stupid not to take that offer. And you would be stupid not to watch our mock draft 3.0. It's right here. We go through every single lottery pick.
Yeah, and I think that's really the distinction we gotta take from this video, is that it has to be a crazy overpay. I've seen a lot of trades that other fan bases have offered up for the Pistons, and it's just laughable, where it's like you can tell that they're just trying to finesse Detroit straight up. But like I said, the only part I do not like about, let's go back to the trade here, wherever it's at, man. It should be right about, there we go. Christian Wood's extremely talented player. If he embraced Detroit, I'd be way more accepting of him. But I just feel like if Christian Wood came to this team, it'd be a lot of sulkiness. And I could see a situation, I really could, where he just, pulls an Eli Manning. He's like, I'm not playing for this franchise, because it was an awkward ending right there. But, obviously that doesn't have to be the trade. That's just the one that he's proposing right here. So, yeah, when it's all said and done, if it's a crazy-ass overpay, there's a choice to be made right there. But at the same time, I'm going to be happy either way, because I don't think Weaver's going to make a stupid choice. So we either end up with a crazy haul-in return and end up getting Jalen Green, or we get Cade, and I'm cool with that too. So that's all we got for this video. Really good video right here. Definitely very convincing, I will say, nonetheless. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out AM Hoops. Link to his channel in the description below. And peace out, my friends.